Throwback Thursday, and it's all about we want summer sun, but it's winter sun, so good luck with that. All right, crazy breaking news this morning. Justin Bieber is possibly under arrest.
Allegedly, yes. Entertainment reporter David Caplan from GossipDavid.com joins us now on the couch to talk about this and the rest of today's entertainment news. So let's start with Bieber. So we hear what happened this morning in Miami.
All right, so first TMZ broke a story claiming that Justin Bieber was arrested and for DUI and drag racing in Miami Beach. He was driving a rented Lamborghini. I checked with his publicist. There's no comment right now. I spoke to a source who's telling me that he wasn't really arrested per se. He's in custody, and also it's not necessarily clear that it was actually drag racing. A source close to Bieber's telling me that, there was a car in front of him, but he was sort of, involved with this. So
and rumor has it he was out at a club last night, too, so could alcohol be
so according to the TMZ report, he was given a field sobriety test, and that he didn't
failed it.
He failed it, yeah. He didn't pass it, and you're right, he was clubbing before. South Beach is a hot spot for all these clubs, so this is sort of the latest.
What does your source say about alcohol?
Right now, they're not. You didn't know about no comment yet on the alcohol yet, so we're gonna have to see.
Are you surprised? I hear this, but I'm not surprised at all by this.
I'm not surprised because I think he's had a lot of this drama lately. He's also 19. He's in Miami. I think that's what one does. He's also underage, of course, for drinking as well. He's 19. He's not in his native Canada where the drinking age is.
I also heard that he just dropped like $75,000 at a strip club.
Yeah.
What was that about?
I don't know, but can he afford a driver? Why does he have to drive if he's going out and drinking?
He was driving, I think for a lot of these guys, it's like the sport of, listen, he's driving a Lamborghini. He's not driving his rental car in South Florida, so I think it's the sport of it. But he was, he was at a strip bar in Miami, and he was throwing like dollar bills, supposedly, according to TMZ, $75,000, which sort of didn't add up to me because that's a lot of dollar bills.
And in singles, they said. So how's that possible to lug all that money in a suitcase?
It's like a cartoon, and you have the bag with like the dollar sign on it. I don't know what he came into.
So what do you think, having been through this before, what happens today? What does the news just trickle out? Do we see?
I think, we're going to see the news trickle out. First of all, we have to clarify whether or not he was really just in custody or formally arrested. According to TMZ, he still remains, in police custody right now. He has to get bailed out. I'm sure whatever the bail is, he'll be able to afford it. And then we have to see, what happens with the charges. And I'm sure there'll be some sort of spin going forward, because I think this has sort of reached like a crescendo of it. All the stuff that's come up to it. It's like, okay, but now I think something's going to have to change.
All right, well, from that to Katy Perry, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and Obama, too. What's all this talk?
So Katy Perry, she gave a new interview to GQ, and she gave a bunch of stuff. She talked about losing her virginity in the backseat of a car when she was a teenager, 14.
Was it a Lamborghini in Miami?
It wasn't a Lamborghini.
Okay,
it wasn't a Lamborghini. I think she had more humble beginnings at that point. And she also talks about drug use, saying that she's not big into drugs, and even marijuana, which is like, big in her sort of circle in LA, music, she's not into it. She's like the girl sitting in the corner like, why are you trying to kill me?
And didn't she like pray for bigger boobs at the age of 11? She sat there in bed and just prayed.
And she's very devout. I feel, if you know her upbringing, her parents were sort of, her parents were Christian school teachers. They're very into that. So that faith obviously took root because she said she would pray for bigger breasts. So it obviously
the Lord
being faithful, being faithful worked on her vow.
Wow. Amen.
Yes. Let's just say it at that. Yeah. Let's talk about Jon Gosselin as back in the news and his kids. Now, what's going on now with this custody battle?
That's right. So, remember last week there was this crazy Today Show interview where the two twins were on with Kate Gosselin. They weren't speaking. They were mute. It was really awkward. There was clearly some issue there. So now Jon Gosselin is saying that he's actually going to go to court once he gets the money for legal fees to get custody of the sextuplets, but not for the older kids for now. I think it's the kids. They're 9 years old at this point. I think he feels the older twins are only 13. They're not that much older, just 4 years older, that they're just they're more entrenched in the fact and they can sort of handle and deal with what's going on, all the drama, but he's concerned for the 9-year-old's welfare.
And the issue with that was that he should have the right of refusal. If she's going out of town, he should be the first call to be the babysitter.
Exactly.
And reportedly, she hasn't done that the past year.
What do you think his odds are? Do you think he'll get custody?
I think he'll win it. He sort of won the custody battle. I mean, he's taking a much more sort of lower PR aspect. Like, he doesn't go on Twitter. He's not egregious like she he is. You know, he's seeking out real jobs. So I think in the eyes of the courts, it's going to look like he's trying to move on, where she's still perceived as someone who's milking the publicity, milking the show. I mean, you know, she's dragging the kids on the Today Show.
And why is he asking for custody of the older kids, though, just the younger ones?
I think, you know, in that case, he's, you know, it's that he just feels they're sort of older, they're more mature, and they're sort of, you know, adjusting better to the situation, where, you know, there's still maybe hope for the 9-year-olds.
Okay.
So Bruce Jenner is gonna, what's his big plan?
So Bruce Jenner really wants to go Dancing with the Stars, right? Which I think would be great. And I think you always have that for celebrities who are sort of bouncing back.
Well, his nails always look well.
His nails look great. You know, he's got the ponytail now. He'd be great on the dance floor.
He is an athlete.
Yeah, so he would be amazing, right? And supposedly they're close, apparently, Dancing with the Stars producers, to locking him in. So it's been a busy week for him.
How does this go down, though? Does the star just kind of float that they want to be on it?
Yeah.
Or is it a real dance as far as who gets picked?
You know, I think it goes both ways. I think a lot of times the producers, they just, you know, sit in a room like, who should we reach out to? And they do, but I also think a lot of celebrities, they do float it out of the press. I just know that you'll interview people, and sort of out of the blue, they're like, oh, you know, I'd really love to go Dancing with the Stars, and then you post it somewhere, you know, and someone reads it. You know, that's how it works. But he's everywhere, following his split from Kris Jenner. I think it's a good move.
You're everywhere, too. You're going to have a busy day today, so David Caplan, we appreciate some time.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, very cold out.